Hi everyone, I'm Joanne and welcome to Chop Chat Cook. Today I've got Kim in the kitchen today. So welcome, Kim.
Hi Jo, thank you for having me in your kitchen.
Oh, it's very exciting. So Kim and I are going to be chatting about retirement living options, and we're also going to be making some jam drops.
I know, I can't wait. So
Tell us a little bit about why you wanted to make jam drops.
Oh look, they just remind me of my childhood. I remember coming home from school and having some jam drops, and they could solve every problem. And I think too they're really simple. My forte is not cooking, but jam drops, yes, I can do that. So
they are, you're right, and also like for myself, I've got sort of the same sort of feelings about jam drops and being on the farm in the rain, mum baking, and dad always stopped work when it rained, and he'd come in. So so for me it was always special because dad would come into the house.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I know it is.
Yes.
It's really nice. And so mum she'd make jam drops, and the pastry is actually, well, the mixture is also like really special because it's my great grandmother's recipe.
Oh,
so it's my father's mother's recipe.
Oh, okay. And I think with it, the messier they are, they taste more yummy.
They do, I know. Yeah, and they don't have to be perfect, do they?
No, that's what I like about it. Yeah.
And this recipe is actually, it's great because you can turn it into jam drops. Mum would turn it into apple turnovers, or if there was no apples in the house, it was like jam turnovers. You could also use leftover bits of pastry and tuck a date in the middle, and then my great grandmother called them date cuddles. Which I really love as well. It's so sweet, isn't it? And then Mum also used it to make tart shells. So my mother she loved entertaining, and she'd always make a butterscotch tart and a chocolate tart for whenever we had a party and a pavlova. And then Mum would eat leftovers for breakfast. So yeah, there's some really lovely memories there. So the sort of the key ingredients are 250 grams of butter.
And that's the thing I like about it. It's not like you have this massive list of things that you need, to make something up with.
No, and it's super easy. So it's like just a cup of sugar and 250 grams of butter. Okay. And we mix those up.
Right, give me a job. What would you like me to do?
Would you like to do mixing, please, Kim?
Okay.
Put that over there out of our way, and I'll measure the sugar for us. So we just cream those, and then what we do is it's quite a rich recipe because it has eggs as well.
I'm glad I've got my chickens at home. See, I've always got eggs.
I know, eggs are great, and chickens are great too, aren't they?
They are.
So we cream that, and then we add the eggs one at a time. And then there's 2 cups of flour, self-raising flour, and like a dash of vanilla.
Okay.
So it's not like a complicated recipe.
No.
I know, it's great, isn't it? So retirement living options. This is like something that I think is a really important discussion to have. We sort of fit that category, don't we? When perhaps, I know some of my friends are retiring.
I know, yes.
And it's sort of around that age.
Yes.
And so one of the options is, we stay in our own home, and then you need to look at that and think, okay, well, how suitable is that? Is it a couple of stories? Is it lots of steps? Is it all on one level? Because they're the things that you sort of need to think about. And also, like, if you've got, so maybe you're able to drive now, but how close is public transport? If you for some reason you can't sort of keep driving.
That's right, and I think too it's taking into consideration that what happens if one of you gets sick. So can you stay together?
Yeah.
And is it it's a whole new beginning. Going into a new tribe, and who are going to be my people here, and
some big changes possibly afoot.
It is lots of changes. Yes.
So another option might be, okay, you're thinking about downsizing. You could buy like a smaller house that's all on one level, or you could think about buying an apartment. And we talked in another episode about sort of like the pitfalls of body corporates and buying apartments. Some people also consider moving in with children.
Yeah, moving in and building a granny flat.
Yeah, or building a granny flat.
Yeah.
And again, some people might also think about like selling their house and going in with their children and co-owning a house. And one of the things that CODA, CODA says, a Council on the Aging, is, like getting advice around those sorts of things and having written agreements.
That's right. I think
with your family members.
Yes, I think it's really important to get that legal advice, and to safeguard yourself. Things change very quickly. There could be a breakup in a marriage.
That's right.
Yeah,
and that has a really big flow-on effect, doesn't it?
That's right. So, so it is best, to, seek out, for advice. And, and also talk to your friends.
That's
talk to your
true.
friends that are going through it.
That's a great idea, sort of chat to see what their plans are. And like the other options are a retirement village, which we'll talk about further, but retirement village is an option, and it's that sort of over 50s lifestyle, really, isn't it, a retirement village?
And I think you mentioned before too, being aware what are the hidden costs, because often there is. And so it's being mindful, about what those costs actually are.
And it's more a lifestyle choice. It's not an investment. You're not going to make lots of money.
No.
It's more a lifestyle choice. And then the other option is a manufactured home. So a manufactured home is a caravan park. Like they have like residential parks where technically
So it's sort of like little mini houses?
Some of them are really big and some of them are really expensive.
Okay.
But the theory is that they're movable.
Okay.
So, but in practice, it would actually cost you a lot of money to move it, and you would need somewhere to move it. So, there's, I'm going to talk a little bit further about that, but there's like lots of things that you need to be aware of, because you've certainly got, even though you buy the house, you have ongoing costs as well, because you don't own the land that the house sits on.
Oh, okay, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So that's, and also like another friend's mother's bought a caravan, and I think that probably has its limitations.
That's right.
That's right.
And sometimes there can be, a bit of emotional blackmail. It could be happening. It's like, we're going to be renting for years, and so if you move in with us, we'll all have somewhere and we'll all be together. It sort of sounds all so rosy and fabulous, but thinking about...
Can be quite complicated, can't it?
It can be very complicated.
And I think just like the final point there probably is that, like circumstances can change quite quickly. So perhaps you're a couple, but sort of need to bear in mind that what happens if one of you, gets sick or passes away?
That's right.
For example, if you buy into a retirement village, if it's just one of you on a single pension, can you afford to maintain that sort of lifestyle? So there are lots of little sort of things that we've identified there, and lots of different options. And what's going to suit some people is not going to suit other people. And I think what I would recommend is that if you're going out looking at all these places, do a spreadsheet and think really clearly about what's going to suit you
That's right,
best.
yes.
Because some of those lifestyle villages have pools that you may not use, but you're going to be paying for them.
That's right. And I think too, a lot of them is you're going in and they're being designed, they look, absolutely beautiful, but, really once your furniture gets in there, does it really, look like that? Because I think it's important that you need to keep something that, about you, that, that there's something that you love about the place.
Yeah, that's true, because, if you bought a home in a retirement village, then quite possibly the furniture that you got is not going to fit, because it's going to be much smaller than what you've come from. And I think sort of in summary though, having a think about all the costs associated with those options. doing your research, and that's like seeking legal advice. It's talking to
Talking to your friends,
Yeah.
and I think going around looking at the different options, you know, that are out there. So
Yeah. Oh well, thanks, Kim.
Okay.
That was a good chat, wasn't it?
Oh, so what do we have to do next?
So we at the point where we're adding eggs, and then in the next episode, what we'll do is we'll add the flour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.